Welcome to the Author Spotlight Show, a platform dedicated to celebrating remarkable women who share their purpose and their passion to make a difference in this world. My name is Gail Watson. I'm founder and CEO of Women Speakers Association, a global community of women who use their voice to powerfully inspire others. Today, we are talking about a brand new book called Voices of the 21st Century Women Empowered Through Passion and Purpose. This book features extraordinary women from various backgrounds and walks of life who share how their message has merged from their life experience. With passion and purpose, these stories are going to inspire you to embrace your own power, to break barriers, and create the future that you want. These women are a testament to the strength and collective voice of women in shaping the world in which they envision. Today, we are going to meet the co author of this book, and we're going to have a conversation about abundance, purpose, and adventure. Who doesn't want that, right? So, if you've ever had the dream to maybe live in a different place or places in this world, or if you're just simply looking to add a little bit more spice into your life, you're going to want to meet and connect with this woman that we're going to interview right now. So please let join me in welcoming to the show award-winning writer, international best-selling author, Sally Pederson.
Well, thank you very much, Gail, for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad you could join us today. I know that you're in a different part of the world and you're traveling to another country in just another week. And then 2 weeks after that, you're moving to another country. We're going to get into all of that. But I want to jump into you as a person. You begin your story with this question, and I have to read it here. So, what is light as a feather and almost impossible for a strong person to hold for more than a few minutes? So, I'm going to throw that out to everybody. Let that sink in. And now we're going to dive into crafting a life of abundance, purpose, and adventure, breaking those boundaries. So, Sally, what has inspired you to share this story?
Well, there's quite a few things actually. Like a lot of times, especially with social media that we see now, we see what we want people to see, or people have an opinion based on what they see. And in part, when a lot of people look at my life, it looks wonderful and amazing and great, and absolutely parts of it are, but it hasn't always been that way, and it takes work, and there's challenges along the way, and a lot of times, we don't see people's challenges. Like, I know there's other people in the world that have gone through things that are way worse than me, way harder, but when we see, we always assume, and I think what we really need to do is to realize people do go through all kinds of things and all kinds of challenges. And then we want to think about how did they get through it? What did they do? And there is no one right answer for everyone. People will go through things differently, respond to things differently. But it's kind of one of those things of it doesn't matter how many times you fall down, it's how many times you pick yourself back up and you keep going. And I'm a true believer. I don't like the word failure. I just think it's a bad word because failing to me means like something didn't work, but then you didn't learn from it. Because if you learned from an experience, whether it taught you to have more patience, you made the decision of, ooh, maybe I should have followed my gut instinct a little bit more, or any one of those things, they're a learning experience. So when something similar comes around, we don't make that same mistake or the same quote failure that people like to say. And life keeps giving us lessons, I feel. And if we don't learn from the lesson, it doesn't always exactly repeat, but it'll rhyme. There'll be something very similar. And one easy one that probably most people can relate to is when people they tend to date the same type of person and they say, well, it never works out. Well, if a person is a similar type and it doesn't work, why would dating the same type then work another time? Maybe we need to try dating a different type. It's the same thing with work. If we're doing the same types of jobs and we always hate them, maybe we need to find a different career. And so that is to help people say, look, just because something looks great, like don't just judge a book by its cover. You have to read the book. You have to go through it, and then you can make a decision about the book, the lifestyle, or the life that somebody lives.
Yeah, and just as you're speaking right now, you're making it sound very, very easy. And I have to say, when I was reading your story, just from that top question about the light as the feather thing, still trying to figure out the answer. Um, but each like sentence I read that you wrote just drew me deeper and deeper in. I thought, how could this happen? What? I was shocked the whole way through, really, because I've had the privilege of getting to know you, and I know you as this. All right, my impression of you is free spirit, travels everywhere, is amazing, strong businesswoman. And I was a little surprised to read that even as a kid early on, you just felt like you didn't belong.
Mhm.
So, as we're reading this, what do you want readers to take away from your amazing story?
I guess like one of the biggest things was you can do anything. You can do anything you put your mind to within reason. I mean, there's certain things like I'm never going to be and never try to be a basketball player. I played basketball once for one season in junior high. For the listeners and people watching, like I'm not very tall. I'm 5'4" and a half because I want that extra half. So basketball was never going to be there for me. Now, there's some people that maybe not be as tall as others that do play, but we have to be realistic about the things that we want. And we also have to not listen to other people. And that is really hard. So, I first got made fun of when I was a kid, and I don't want to give away too many details of the story. But I just never let it bother me because I just thought, whatever, I didn't care. I was doing something that I enjoyed doing. And I'm glad that I didn't let it stop me because that would have stopped and changed my whole life because I'm still doing in a way those things that intrigued me and that I liked as a young child. And yeah, so I think what you need to do is have hopes and dreams, absolutely. Be realistic about them. And then don't listen to what other people say. If you want to start a business, start a business. Maybe don't quite quit your job yet if you've got a well-paying job. Start that business, make sure it gets money going, and then you can easily transition over and not have to worry and get stressed out about paying the bills and things like that. And yeah, if you have dreams, go for it. Do it. Don't listen to others. And when seeking advice, get advice from people who have the life that you want. Because the biggest mistake people make is, oh, my sister said, my brother said, my cousin, my mother, my aunt, my anybody. And I always say to them, I'm like, but is that person living the life you want? Like, do they have the things you want? Are they happy in their relationships, the job, the career, the travel time, the whatever it is that your dream life is? If they don't have the things that you want, the lifestyle that you want, how can they give you the advice that you need on the things that you should do? They'll give you the advice on what they would do, and that's given them the life that they have. And so if you listen to that advice, you're steering yourself to the life that they have, not necessarily the life that you want.
Excellent. Excellent advice. Okay, let's talk about what you're doing today because I just painted this picture of you. I mean, everybody's getting the impression, wow, this woman is like all over, traveling all over. She does work. So she does earn. So let's talk about what it is that you do in this world and how it reflects, like where it came from.
So I do a few different things. I get bored with just one thing. So when I'm working on a couple different things, then I can kind of bounce back and forth between them. So other than being a writer and writing for different publications and books and things, I also have a company called Global Citizen Life, where I help people diversify assets globally around the world and move to international destinations that suit them best. Because there is, for one, there's no perfect place in the world. I've been looking, I'm still looking. But there's been nothing perfect for me. I think there's pros and cons to every place. And so it's finding out for people as an individual, what place is best for them to live, what country, what city, where their corporation is to reduce taxes. It's best to have your corporation in certain countries, usually not where you live. Opening up bank accounts to protect yourself in case your assets get frozen because as in recent years, you've, protested or donated to a protest, if anybody's from Canada or know about that, that happened in Canada, and just ways to protect yourself from the government because the government can't fully be trusted, and we need to look out for ourselves and do the best things for ourselves. So I also help people do that, and I do some speaking as well on various topics and things like that. So those are kind of the things that keep me very busy. So even though I do travel a lot, it's part of my work, and when I do travel, lots of times I am meeting with lawyers and real estate people, so I'm always even if I'm on, quote, "vacation," I'm always still working because 'cause I'm like, "Well, if I'm in a country or city, I should connect with a few people," and because I love what I do, I enjoy connecting with people, I enjoy traveling, and then I enjoy helping people. Even just before this call, I was connecting, some people in the United States who want to move to Spain, so connected them through my lawyer because they had some very, very specific questions that I personally couldn't answer for their situation and connected them together so she can help them move to Spain. And I just love being able to help them because I just think we're not stuck in one place. You're only stuck if your mind tells you you're stuck. So you can move anywhere. And maybe some people don't want to move internationally to another country or anything, but maybe sometimes it's just another city or another state if or province wherever you're at. And even that sometimes can be a little bit nervous for some people, a little unsure. But the thing about our brain is our brain protects us by keeping us scared. It's the fear of the unknown, which is the biggest fear. But the downfall to that, though, it doesn't give our imagination the what if it's amazing? And 99% of the time, things are amazing and not terrible.
You're making me think, and I just really appreciate what you said. And as you were describing those, our mind put those borders in, and you don't see them. And I love that. I mean, and you start the title of your story, "Breaking Boundaries," are the first two words you use. So whether that boundary is a physical border, or the boundaries in our mind of fear.
That's right.
Mm.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I'm thinking, Sally, we need to get a copy of your book because there's so much. First, a phenomenal story, but great takeaway. So, where can we get a copy of your book?
Well, if you're following me on social media anywhere, you can absolutely just DM me and send me a message, or you can go to my website, sallypederson.com. So that's SALLYPEDERSON.com. And there'll be links there that people can order it from there as well.
Awesome. And I can't help but think, because we know so many people in our lives, and just like you said, that a lot of people like to be that, let's say, armchair armchair advice giver when they haven't done it
Mm,
themselves. Um, if you know somebody out there, or if somebody's coming to your mind right now that has been talking about a dream and you can sense the limitations of that fear of that unknown or something, this what a great gift for them, because you're the opposite to that, where you're breaking those boundaries. So pick yourself up a copy of that book and get one for somebody you know as well to support them. So, Sally, love speaking with you. You're always so amazing. You're inspiring. And I know that there's probably words in your heart that you want to leave us with, maybe your words of wisdom that we can sign off with.
Oh, there's so many. And I guess really one is when we think about it, if we think of the average lifespan being around, let's say, 80 years of age right now, we can look at life, or our life can be two ways. It can be as long and painful and hard as we choose to make it, or it can be so fun and amazing and short as we make it. And by long and short, it's still the same 80 years. It's just the perspective. If you're enjoying it and it's wonderful and it's fat and it goes by so fast, like it's fabulous. But when you're really struggling and going through things, it's really long. So that's what I mean by it's either as wonderful, amazing, and short or long and painful.
Well, you are wonderful and amazing and full of joy. So, thank you for those words. They hit deep. So thank you for just showing, for sharing the vulnerability of your story, the truth of your story, and for your amazing passion and gift that you bring to this world and helping others break their boundaries. You're doing good work out there, making a difference. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me and allowing me to share my story.
Oh, of course, anytime. So thanks again for joining us. And to our listeners, I want to thank you for joining us today. Get in touch with Sally at Sally Pederson. That's Pederson.com. Connect with her. You won't regret it. All right. Thanks, everybody. And wherever you are in this world, we want to wish you a great day.